Okay, now that you've gotten your makeup done and it's time to do your hair, go ahead and blow dry it or let it naturally dry, whatever you do. Go ahead and brush it. I'm going to brush it nice, even strokes. Make sure you get all those tangles out. Now that you've got your hair all brushed out, you want to use your heat protective spray. I am using Triple Nutrient Spray. What it does is it repairs my hair as I stray it with my flat iron. So I'm just going to spray all over. Don't use too much, you don't want your hair to be oily. And then I'm just going to brush it through again. And I'm going to shape my hair to the way I want it to look. When it's straightened, I want all this to be forward and all this to be down. Now my hair is almost completely straight already, but the flat iron knife gives it a nice smooth look to it. Next you want to go ahead and brush all your hair back and separate it at the bottom into a section so you have that area to do. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now that you got all that separated and you're back into little sections, make sure your flat iron's nice and hot, and you just want to take small little sections and go straight down with the bottom layers, just straight down, and then brush through with your fingers. If it doesn't look straight enough to you, which mine does, just go over it one more time. So I'm going to do the other side, and then you're going to take down the next section and do that. Do not do too thick of sections, because if not, if you do, you're going to have to go back through and do a whole nother set. So you just nice and flat iron it. Now if you want to give it a little under bump, you just take it and take your flat iron and swirl it down, just like that, and then you'll get a nice little under bump. I always like to do that with my bottom layers, so that I have a nice foundation for the rest of my hair. Now you take down your next layer and pull it down with your fingers. You don't want to use your brush for like a lot of this, because if you do, you're going to make it frizzy. You don't want to use a brush to do all that, so you're just going to go ahead and do your next layer that way. If you see if it's not coming down right, you just go ahead and go back over it one more time. I squeeze mine really tightly closed so that's nice and smooth. Don't forget this back section. I tend to forget that a lot. Take your fingers and brush it out. And then you do the rest of the back with that up to here, up to the top of your ears, before you start on your front section. So go ahead and finish that section. Okay, now that you got that bottom section done nice and straight, mine's flipping, and that's just the way I want it. I'm going to smooth that out, and then I'm going to pull down my next section. You're going to start in the front, right here. You can use your brush or your fingers. I like to use my fingers. You're just going to pull down that section here. Pull it down. You're going to pull down this back. There's a back section too, so you're going to have to do that as well. And you just go ahead and pull that down. Little section, and pull it straight out from your head. You can see my skin's pulling. You don't want to pull that hard. Go ahead and put your brush as far as close to your scalp as possible, without burning yourself. Do not burn yourself. It's very possible with one of these, and then you're just going to pull it straight out and straight down. And then you're going to smooth it down, and if you have any issues with it, you just go back over it. Do the same to the other side. Pull it out. You want to mostly finger comb everything. If not, you're going to make it frizzy and bushy and all those other fun things that you do not want your hair to do. So you're just going to pull straight out. Sometimes you need an extra hand. You're going to let that fall, and then you're going to brush. If you get a little crease here, you can pick up an extra section and just smooth out that crease back and forth, and pull that all the way down so it goes all the way through. And now you got your nice front, straight fronts. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the back here. Okay, now I got this front straightened out here, and I got my back all straightened out. You're going to see little creases where you can see your ears and stuff. That's natural. You want to put on your next section. Make them a little smaller this time, and just go all the way back. You should be pretty much done with your back section after this one. Just pull everything down. My bangs are coming out here. I'm going to pull those back. And we'll deal with those next. And then you want to go ahead and straighten all this. Like I said before, you're going to go in, find the bottom of your section, pull it straight out from your head, go as close to your scalp as possible, and pull straight out. I'm going to do a second layer, just so I make sure it's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to finger brush it. And that's nice and straight there. You can see the back that's not straight yet, but there we are. That's nice and straight and smooth there. And just finish that section like that. Okay, now that you got all that straightened out, we're going to start up here on the top. And you can see there should be just this little section left here. And I'm going to start with my bangs. I'm going to go ahead and pull them down. I'm going to use my brush for this part. And I just pull down what I like in my bangs. Whether you have a side bang or a straight bang, you just go ahead and pull that all down. If you don't have a bang at all, you still want to kind of do this so that you have a nice smooth crease there. You're going to go ahead and clip all this up. I'm going to separate my hair where I want it to separate when I go to flat iron it. So I need to flat iron this here. I'm going to start with this side over here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it all, and I'm going to pull it straight up and over to the opposite side that I want it. And I'm going to make this curl just a smidge bit, and I'm going to slide it down. Let it dry just a little bit, or cool down, not dry. And I'm going to pull it over. And now I have a nice smooth bang on this side. And we're going to go ahead and do this other side. If you have a thicker pieces, you just want to do the same. Pull to the side, a light curl down, let it dry for a second, or cool down for a second, and then you're going to pull it back down. So now you got your bangs all nice and smooth. Okay, we're going to move on to our next step, which you want to pull your hair up and find your part wherever it is. Now, your parts don't have to be perfect. Mine are never perfect. You can always actually straighten them out after you're done, and you want to pull down this side. This side, if you have a thick part like mine, you do not want to pull down as much, all of it. You just want to pull down a little section, and then a little section going back. And you want to go ahead and re-clip this. Let it hang there. Yeah, it's right there in your face. Smooth out your sides, and find your sections, and do the same thing. You want a nice, smooth, straight down, and smooth with your fingers. So you have that nice smooth there. I need to go back just a little bit and do this corner here. Nice, smooth, slightly rounded at the end, straight down. Nice and smooth. And then you want to go ahead and do the same to the other side. I'm going to do a little bit smaller sections on this one just because I have more hair on this side. Now your part might be on the opposite side, it might be straight down the middle. You just want to do the same. If it's straight down the middle, you just want to have this middle section and pull down from each side. Just a little bit, not a lot. Now I still have this little crease back here, right in here. I'm just going to take this bottom section, pull this away, go in, and lightly smooth that. And then I have a nice smoother section. Now I haven't did this back section here, so I'm going to pull it. In this section, I want to finger it up a little bit like this. And then smooth it back just like so. I'm going to give it a little bump at the top so that my hair looks a little bit fuller. If your hair tends to be flat when you do this, that's a good idea. And you just smooth that down in there, and then you have a nice smooth bump. Okay, now our next section is last. You want to pull it down to the side that you want it on. Smooth it. Now I add a little bit more into my bang as I get down, so I'm going to start with that first. I'm going to just slowly section this back, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Finger brush it, and pull it straight over and down. Now if you don't want too much of a bump here, you can pull all this forward, and then do it all together, and then re-separate it. And now all I have left is this last section that I just pulled down. I'm going to pull it straight up. Oh, that's a little too big. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put my flat iron around it. I'm going to throw a little bump in at the top, so it's a little bit fuller, and pull down. And then I'm going to take this section of bang with this and flat iron those together. So you don't have any separated sections. You want everything to look very uniform. And now that it's all done, you can lightly mist again, or you can hairspray. I'm going to hairspray just so that it doesn't frizz. I'm just using a very generic hairspray. You don't want to use anything with a lot of alcohol in it. It's bad for your hair. Now I'm going to actually brush everything forward, just so that's all nice and smoothed out and brushed down. And I'm going to re-separate everything. So my part's nice and even, and my bangs are all in the right spot. And then take your brush, go up underneath, and smooth. And there you are. Nice, smooth. If you want it straighter, you can make sure you pull straight down. You never want to give any kind of curve when you're doing it. Never take your flat. You always want to keep your flat iron like this if you want it straight, and then you want to curve it in if you want to curve. So you start off like this, and then you curve in, or you just go straight down. So that's your finished product right there. So now I'm completely finished with my hair and my makeup. I did my makeup earlier. I have another tutorial on that if you want to see how I did my makeup today. You got a little bit of glare from my glasses, but I feel beautiful today, and I hope you do too.